Good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Coffee with Chosen. I'm Nikki. Today I want to talk about sibling relationships. Do you have children that may have a lot of conflict? Do you have to spend time throughout the day literally prying them apart to keep them from hurting each other? Do you try things to help intervene, but it seems to keep getting worse? Do you have one kid that has pretty uniquely challenging behaviors and you're worried about how those behaviors are going to impact the other children in the house? These are a few of the things that I have dealt with and deal with on a regular basis and that I hear from parents all the time that are struggling. Sibling relationships are complex. There's a lot that goes into the relationship behind siblings. If you have children who have experienced trauma, that have been in foster care, have been adopted, there's a lot of extra factors that go on that impact that relationship that we don't think about a lot of times. One of them can be, have they spent time apart? Was there a time where they're having to reintegrate being together and being around each other? This is going to be also impacted by, did the child, even if they've been in the same household, they may have experienced different kinds of trauma even though they were in the same household. The biggest one that I see too is oftentimes you will have a sibling who was a caretaker, more of a parent role to the other siblings in the house. And even when they are in a safe and loving home, they can't seem to let go of that caretaker role because it was a very deep-rooted survival instinct and something that is very, very complex. These are a few of the things that we don't often think about, but they can cause a source of conflict in kids. To help our children get through conflict, we have to understand what's causing the conflict, help them go through it, work through it together, and model the kind of behavior that we want to see in our kids. Super hard, I know. Kids are always watching us. But if we model through them how we respond to conflict with them and how we respond to the conflict with other caregivers or our spouses in our homes, this is going to make a really big impact on how they deal with each other. One of the best predictors for a good relationship between siblings now and in the future is the amount of positive shared experiences that kids have. So even if you have a lot of conflict, if you can balance that with a lot of good experiences, that's going to help these everyday experiences. So one of the things that you might do is find special activities that your kids can do together. Find physical things, fun things, family games. This may require you as the parent having to take extra time and sit there and play the games with them, do something with them. An example I can think about is if my children love to play with kinetic sand, but if I send them to just play with it on their own, a fight is gonna break out within minutes. But if I sit there and play with them and show them some strategies of how to have fun and get along, then they can learn that and play together better on their own later. This is gonna be true for kids of any age. We also just want to make sure when one child is dealing with a challenging behavior from the other, it's a chance to show empathy. So if a child comes to you, they're upset at something that the other sibling did, validate how they're feeling. A lot of times as parents, we want to go straight to trying to solve the problem or discipline or do something. We need to validate how the children are feeling and then help them see the perspective of the other person. Did brother call you that name or get upset because you said something that upset him? Could it be that he's upset because you made fun of something he's been working on a long time? Maybe brother had a bad day at school, or maybe he's tired. If we take those steps and see it as a teaching moment, this can help us as parents react to these sibling difficulties better. We know this is complex. We know there's a lot that goes on with this. Make sure and talk to your kids about the experiences they have between each other. If you don't talk to them about it, it can lead to internal resentment, which can cause more difficulties. We would love to help you. We know this is a lot to deal with, so please reach out to us at Chosen for extra care. Thanks for joining us.